Good evening. So our topic for this evening is all about we talk about more on other ancient Greek philosophers. Yesterday we able to talk about the pre-Socratic philosophers who made the foundations and pillars of philosophy. They call themselves pre-Socratic philosophers because they live before the existence of a very famous philosophers in ancient Greece, which is Socrates itself. So that is why pre-Socratic, meaning before Socrates era. On this part, we are going to talk about a group of people who is very famous in ancient Greece. These people is focusing more on the argument itself without searching the ultimate truth. So it raises a questions on why is it these people is only focusing on this part, because one of the main responsibility of the philosopher is to search for the ultimate truth. But this group of people, they don't care about the ultimate truth as long as they able to deliver in a sugar-coated statement or speeches so that people could easily fall from their trap, no? So it is kind of people could easily deceive by those sweet words without knowing that their arguments is not truly searching for the ultimate truth. So who are these people? These people is also known as the Sophists. Another meaning of the Sophists is wise guy. So they are being wise. But behind the meaning of it, they couldn't able to search the ultimate truth of their argument. But these people laid also a foundation, and it is also the turning table of the other philosopher to emerge during the time, because they have plenty of questions regarding about the Sophists on why is it their delivery of argument is quite different and quite odd to everybody. No, so it is somewhat kind of deceiving to the people, no? Because of their proficiency and eloquency in speaking in public, many ancient Greek citizens could easily fall from it. So we need to know more about this, because these are the nemesis of the so-called famous philosophers in Western world. No, we talk about Europe. The Sophists were a group of rhetoricians who traveled from city to city, charging admission to their lectures. So they travel from place to place. They conduct special occasions with speeches. They deliver to the public their sweet words, like that one, no? So they are very eloquent on what they were doing because they are a great speaker. Because rhetorics is an art of public speaking, so they commonly do public speaking. So that is their main expertise. Okay, and they charge for that expertise. The first that we need to know is Sophist, Protagoras, by the name of Protagoras. He is the most famous Sophist who taught that the way to achieve success is through a careful and prudent acceptance of traditional customs. Not all Sophists is nemesis of Socrates, Aristotle, and Plato, now the famous philosophers in ancient Greece during that time. Not all of them. Some of the Sophists is being accepted by other philosophers because of their ideas. But majority of the Sophists during that time is commonly a nemesis of the famous philosophers in Western world. But one of the good Sophists to count for it is Protagoras. He believed that all customs were relative, not absolute. Okay, so the custom, it talks about more on a culture of the region, no? Because during in ancient Greece, because the Greek region is divided into multiple islands, and each island they have different cultures. So he believed that these customs were relative. It could be they were related to one another, and it could accept, and it could be also they have their own acceptable truths, no? Say for example, the so-called relativism, no? Both tradition in Muslim and Christian provide an absolute truth based on their customs and tradition. Say for example, in Christianity, we allow people to eat pork, so it is the absolute truth, no? Because that is based on our doctrine. But in Muslim, they have also different culture, but it is also an absolute truth for them because they are not allowed to eat pork. It is different culture, but both of them provided an absolute truth based on the doctrines that being followed. So man is the measure of all things. So whatever the man is saying is true based on its customs, cultures, and traditions. Because different cultures bears different truth. That's why my example a while ago is Christian and Muslim. Because they have different culture and they bears different truth. So which means it is truthful that Muslim won't eat pork while the Christians are allowed to eat pork. So both of them are acceptable. So Protagoras is targeting relativism here. He was indicted for blasphemy by the Athenians. Blasphemy in Tagalog is pagkutya, no? Pagsaway, no? So he was indicted for that because of his idea of relativism, accepting different cultures. Because Athenians is another city-state during that time, and they have different culture apart from the other culture across different islands from Greece. Because there is multiple islands in ancient Greece during the time. We have Sparta, we have Thessaly, we have Crete, no, Cretian, we have Athens, we have Miletus, we have Samotians, multiple islands with different cultures. But since Protagoras is a person who is accepting truthfulness based on the culture and customs of the region, he was what we call indicted, no, by the people, because his doctrine and beliefs is inconsistent, because he is believing other someone's culture to somewhat that people saw it as disrespectful to their own cultures. But we do really understand that Protagoras is talking about that we need to accept also the truth, because when you came across in different culture, you need to accept that they have also their own set of doctrines, they have their set of ethical views, they have their own customs that bears different truth from them, no? So that is the main point of Protagoras. The next one is Gorgias. He wanted to dethrone philosophy and replace it with rhetoric. So this is one of the nemesis of other philosophers during that time, no? Because you couldn't easily remove philosophy, because you couldn't provide speeches with the thoughts and ideas. And it is a very bad move to remove philosophy and replace for rhetoric. Because Gorgias always believed that rhetoric is more powerful to convince people than philosophizing. No? So there is somewhat a mal-education and misleading to the people. And people that time could easily deceive, no? Just like what happened nowadays, we could easily deceive by Facebook posts, no? We don't study the credibility of the post, we easily believe on it. That is just is like what happened during the time. As long as they witness a person who is very good in speaking, very good command in the native language, and has a very good command in idiomatic expressions, they easily fall from that. They easily deceive from that. No? So that is why their main purpose, they want to replace it with rhetoric, because they could easily fool the people. They could easily deceive the people. Gorgias is not teaching to search for the truth, but to win an argument. Always remember, the very purpose of argument is to search for the truth. But for Gorgias, winning argument is important than searching for the truth. And Socrates doesn't want this, no? Because Socrates is a type of person who keep on asking questions, and then it certain point out to a specific truth. So that's what Socrates is trying to do, no? So it is quite opposite, no, to the other good philosophers. He was famous by his non-existent thesis. It is quite it is pretty uniform with the previous Parmenides and Zeno of Elea. Number 1, he said there is nothing. Number 2, if there were anything, no one could know it. If anyone did know it, no one could communicate it. It has also a sense, but these Sophists cannot able to expound his explanation regarding about that one. No? So you could easily compare, no? You could see clearly the difference between Parmenides and Gorgias, Zeno of Elea and Gorgias. Because Parmenides is a philosopher, because they could explain clearly why is it they believe that the reality is illusion. And also Zeno of Elea explained it in the paradox of motion, that reality is illusion because there is an infinity of time. So which means Gorgias is made this up, no? Made this up, this thesis, without a further explanation. So he leave those people hanging around, no? He leave those people keep on wondering and hanging around without an answer to those theses. Because every time when the philosopher provide a thesis, there should be an answers, no? A backup answers to defend such thesis. But Gorgias simply state this one without an expound explanation about his thesis of number 1 to 3. The next one is Thrasymachus. Thrasymachus said justice is in the interest of the stronger. So this is the person that I'm talking about who provided the definition of justice in a misleading way. And he is one of the enemy of Socrates during the time. Because Socrates believed that your definition of justice, Thrasymachus, is misleading. No? There is a big misconception of that. Because I believe justice is for all. Even prisoners, even a murderer deserve justice. No? Justice is for all. For young and old, for professional and student, for disabled and able person. So I am certain that justice is not only for the strong one. You are just using the justice terminology in order to put yourself in a limelight, no? Para naa sila sa babaw, no? So they could easily deceive the people. He once said that might makes right. So if you are powerful, you are right. He is the nemesis of Socrates, no? So there is a common dialogue on Thrasymachus versus Socrates in the book The Republic, no? But the book is not authored by Socrates because Socrates is a person who is not into writing. So the one who wrote the story of Socrates is his student Plato. So Plato wrote everything, all the stories and dialogue of Socrates. And one of the main part of the book The Republic by Plato, it has a dialogue between Thrasymachus and Socrates. He was the main target of Socrates' method of questioning, because Socrates wanted Thrasymachus to realize his own fault on why he able to mislead the people, no? Mislead and misconcept, no, the word justice. Callicles, I don't have a picture of it because we are not certain of the picture, no? So that's why I put up black and white of this, because if you search in Google, we couldn't easily find the Callicles because it's somewhat uniform to other philosophers' faces and appearances, no? But these Callicles all really exist during the time, and it is one of the Sophists. He believed that traditional morality is just a clever way for the weak masses to shackle the strong individual. If you try to read this statement, Callicles wanted to discredit the traditional morality in order to uplift those people who are weak, no, in the society, or those people who are in the marginalized sector, no? The poor people, the laborers, those are in the marginalized sector, no? So kumbaga naghimo-himo siya istorya na ang kaning mga morality gigamit lang ni para ang mga weak ilang pildihon ang mga dato, no? So that is a simple explanation, no, of that one, no? So he made this up, no? This is bigotry, no? This is a very wrong belief. Why do the marginalized sector using the traditional morality? Traditional morality is traditional morality, no? No one can able to fathom it, even if it is unwritten. But universally, morality, or shall we say good moral, is acceptable ethically, no? But he discredited the traditional morality to put himself in the position in the politics, no? What matters is power, not justice. The same statement with Thrasymachus, no? So they always believe that justice is for the strong one. He said the traditional Greek virtue of moderation is for the simple and the feeble, no? So if you talk about moderation, say for example generosity is a moderate virtue. Too much generosity is extravagance. Extravagance is not already a part of moderational virtue because it is extreme. So the virtue of moderation should be the generosity itself. Less generosity is being stingy. No? You give, but it is less. It should be at the middle. So the virtue of moderation is generosity. If it is extreme, it is extravagance. If it is less, it is stingy. So we need to target the moderation. And Callicles believe that the Greek virtue of moderation is for simple and feeble-minded. No, kandali kay mailad, no, may na something like that. No? For a moment. Okay, so those are the lacking of strength, no, or capability. So they are trying their best, no, to discredit those people, no, so that they can put themselves in the higher ups, no. The next one is Critias, the man who overturned the democracy and temporarily established an oligarchical dictatorship. They abuse the powers, no? He once said that ruler controls subject by encouraging their fear of non-existent gods, because Critias trying to put himself that he is a god. He wants to deceive the Greek citizens to encourage them, no? Encouraging their fear of non-existence God. So there is no God at all. The God is me. So he claiming himself that he is God, so that everybody could believe in him. So this is one also of the enemy of Socrates during the time, and question if what is God could do. Could you provide anything to the people? Yes, I can provide anything. No? So, but there is a specific argument of that in which Critias wasn't able to defend himself that he is truly a god. No? Because this is a type of anthropomorphism, if you try to remember Xenophanes. No? So they're trying to deceive the people. No? So what matters is not truth, but manipulation and expediency, no? So grabe sila ka inana ka narrow-minded, and they don't have the emotions, they don't have the remorse on the Greek citizens of what they feel about it, no? Their thinking is power, no? Manipulation. So they are master of deceive, no? They are very deceitful to the people. Okay, so the next part that we're going to talk about is the big three of the Western philosophy, and that is Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. This is the end of this video. Thank you very much.